The Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint was my favorite blush of last year. We have a new radiant finish. Now I am dying to test this out because I know that glowy finishes are very in, but depending on your personal preferences, they can go terribly wrong or they can be just disappointing. We're gonna see what Armani has done here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their natural finish. These are the ones that they came out with first, and now we have the radiant finish. We have 4 shades, and that is what we are reviewing today. Let's get into the details. First up, the packaging. It looks practically identical to the natural finish tubes. The plastic in the natural finish tube is more frosted, whereas this new one is clear. You get the standard doe foot applicator, which I personally really like because I find that it gives you pretty good control for placing the color exactly where you want it. Let's get these swatched. Here we go with 42S Sunlit Sienna. This is the terracotta one. I've already swatched them and I know that this one is the most pigmented one. This is gonna be especially suited for those of you with deeper skin tones. This is where we start to notice exactly what kind of sheen Armani's going for. Is it a subtle sheen or is it a noticeable one? Now Starlit Peach. Each of these colors corresponds to a shade from their natural original finish. But are they the same? I think that this one in particular is very similar. And you can see that subtle luminosity. I do think that this one has a slight metallic touch and it's more, therefore more noticeable than the glow in this one. Now for those of you that like baby doll pink, let's see what cosmic pink looks like. Okay, yeah, this is a very cool, bright pink. And finally, we have Magnetic Mauve. This one looks like a very versatile rose, maybe slightly more vibrant than your typical mauve though. Let me even it out. There we go. It still looks very wearable. Okay, look at that glow across all 4. I would call it definitely a sophisticated luminosity. I'm not seeing any chunky glitter, and that is exactly what I want to see. Now for some quick context, let me put both of these blushes, the Hourglass Unreal Brush and the Saie one, swatched on my arm so that we can see the luminosity, see how they stack up. Oh, there, okay. This is the shade Future. Right off the bat, a lot glowier, and I remember that it doesn't set down as much as Armani does. But it's still very much wet. We're gonna leave it there. Let's let it hang out and see if it dries down a little bit, and then we'll look at the glow comparison. In the meantime, let's go ahead and put on Saie. I have it in the shade Rosy. Now this is a chunky doe foot. Comes out with tons of product. Now this one is thicker. Okay, Armani really in comparison feels a lot more watery, lightweight. The swatches have been sitting on my arm for about 15 minutes at this point. These right here are, this is the Armani blushes, and then we have Hourglass and the Saie Dew blush. Speaking specifically about Armani versus Hourglass, the glow is different. Hourglass is more of a dewy, kind of like a wet glow, whereas Armani looks more like a sheen. Almost, I don't want to say metallic, but yeah, it does have a slight metallic quality to it. Let me show you more up close here. Especially these 2 colors, I think are the ones that look the most metallic-y. I don't know why they called this Saie blush Dew. What's it called? Dew blush. There's nothing dewy about this one. Let's do a little transfer test here. I'm just gonna place that paper towel like this. Come on. Yes, exactly what I thought. And this is one of the reasons why I like this Armani formula so much, is that it dries down. Nothing transferred at all. Hourglass transferred a bunch, and so did Saie. So yeah, the main difference here with these formulas is the type of glow that you get and the set down and what that means in terms of transfer proofness. Enough swatching. Let's get them on the face, see how they apply. I'm starting with the peachy one. Starlit Peach. This is a warm tangerine pink. I'm gonna start with 3 dots, but I think we're gonna have to go in again. I am going to use my fingers. Such a pretty color. Super easy blendability. I am going to add a little bit more and again blend it with my fingers. And that's it. There you go. I feel that there's the dry down is happening. See, super easy. I love these. All right, let's remove it. What I have on hand is a Drunk Elephant balm, cleansing balm, and I am going to remove it. And for foundation, I am using my Hourglass Ambient Foundation in the shade 8, which is the same one that I used in my review of the original blushes last year. I'm not gonna set it with powder this time around, but we'll try it in different ways. I haven't really let it dry that much. That means that it's gonna be harder for the blush to go on smoothly if the foundation is not completely set. But that's what we're gonna do, because I think that this can handle it. I want to use a brush now. I'm still going to apply directly from the doe foot. I'm using a dense brush, Real Techniques number 407. We first did the finger application, now we're doing the brush because a brush can buff things out differently. So, okay, that looks perfect, but it's way too sheer. Let's go in with another layer, and this time just gonna do a big old stripe there. Yeah, I can see that even the foundation is getting on the brush because it is not set down. However, the blush is still blending beautifully. And I'm getting very excited about this finish. I'm really liking this glow. Let's proceed with the most pigmented one. I'm gonna take this off first. All right, we're back. So Sunlit Sienna. This is the one where I ran into some application issues yesterday because I did all of this yesterday thinking that I could record a video without some sort of outline, like a script outline. When I looked at the footage, I was like, no, I am rambling incessantly. So this is what I did yesterday, okay? And it didn't work because the dots did not fully blend out. This is so pigmented on my skin tone. You see how by now the other colors would have been fully blended, but here we can still see traces of those dots. So I am going to keep going. Yeah, I'm still seeing a dot here. Boom, boom, boom. Spread it out on the back of your hand first, and from there pick it up with the brush so that it is as evenly coated as possible. And then take it to the cheek. If you do this, you won't have a problem. Application will be super smooth, very diffused. That's a really pretty color. A warm bronze terracotta. I'm gonna build it up a little bit. Again, like I mentioned before, this one does not correspond to any color from the natural shades, I don't think. Let me show you the sheen here in my hand. Yeah. You can see it right there. Am I focused? Beautiful. Lovely. Now we're gonna apply the last one, which is the mauve one. I put on my foundation, and now I do want to set it with powder because we have not tested any of these blushes over the foundation set with powder. I am using my Laura Mercier pressed powder, translucent pressed setting powder, ultra blur. Everything will be linked down in the description box. I'm gonna use one of my favorite brushes for liquid blushes, which is the Sigma F53 Air. And this time around, I am going to put, so yeah, we're trying on this mauve one on the other cheek. We'll see what the natural finish looks like. Okay, lovely, lovely. So it did blend out fine, but it didn't spread out as much. The powder did kind of want to grab it, but except for, let's see. Yeah, I think it did really well. Should I go in it again? One dot maybe, somewhere there. I think it's going fine over powder. Great. Okay, so we got the Radiant Mauve on this side. Let's now get the other, the natural finish mauve. Let's do a few dots there, and I'm using a clean brush. This is an Hourglass 15 brush. I can immediately see the difference in finishes, but let me build this one up with a second layer like we did on the other side. Do be quick to blend because remember that they do set down. Ah, this one is more vibrant than I wanted. I overdid it with the amount of dots that I put on. Yeah, but for our purposes of seeing the difference in finishes, I think this is perfect. Let me go get a few clips in different lighting, and then we'll come back here to the studio. I think it is noticeable. I can totally see the difference, at least on the viewfinder here. All right, let's distill all that down into some quick pros and cons. Pros. First, that glow is generally beautiful. It gives a sophisticated luminous glow without being glittery. Like the originals, they blend seamlessly. They feel incredibly lightweight and comfortable on the skin. They are definitely buildable, so you control the intensity. You can start off with a very sheer wash of color and build it up to a really intense blush look. These are fragrance-free and also very important regarding wear. I have worn these for the past 2 days and I have not noticed any fading at the end of the day, which has also been my experience with their original natural finish. Cons. The Radiant Finish, while beautiful, it might emphasize texture more than the super forgiving natural finish. That's depending on your skin. I can't think of another cons, maybe the price, $39, but it is in line with other luxury blushes. So I wouldn't count that as a con because I don't think it's overpriced. So my final verdict on the Armani Luminous Silk cheek tints, they are beautifully done. I think that the specific radiant finish they achieved is quite special and very elegant. But who are these best for? I would say normal to dry skin types who love that visible glow will really enjoy these. If you have very oily skin though, I think the longevity of the radiance will be more of a challenge. If you have significant texture concerns, I would recommend you first try to sample it, or perhaps just stick to the natural finish, which is really a beautiful finish. It's not a flat matte. It's still gonna look, well, natural. It truly does. So I think you're gonna like it. So my final stamp, buy, try, or pass. I would say try. It's definitely not a pass because these are beautifully formulated. They're high quality blushes with a stunning finish, but it's also not an automatic run out and go buy it right now for everyone. Calling it a try means that it's worth experiencing it firsthand if you can. Maybe see if you can get a sample or swatch it thoroughly in the store next time you're out. See how that luminosity looks on your texture in person under different lighting. It's really a recommendation to explore it further if the concept intrigues you, rather than a blanket statement that everyone needs it. Basically, they're beautiful and well worth considering, but testing them out if you have the chance is the smart move here. And that, my friends, is a full scoop. I hope this detailed review comparison demo was helpful in helping you decide whether the new Armani tints need a place in your collection. Let me know down in the comments which Radiant shade caught your eye the most and whether you could tell the difference between the natural and the Radiant finishes. Yeah, I want to know, based on what you saw here today, are you team natural or team Radiant? You can check out my full review of every single shade of the natural finish, the original one, in this video right here. Or maybe check out this other video that the YouTube algorithm has decided you would be interested in watching. And if you enjoy these in-depth reviews, well, subscribe to the channel. I do them all the time. I will see you in the next video.